Looking for the slickest smartwatch? From sporting tickers to smartphone companions, these are the cleverest wearables you can buy. How smart do you want your smartwatch to be? If like Brian Cox smart is your answer, you need one of the best smartwatches around, and that's what this best smartwatches list is for. There's also a new wave of lightweight smartwatches. The choice between fashionable, feature-packed and fitness-ready medical marvels just got harder. Big names have branched out to give us the best wrist tech yet. One-day battery life? Not anymore. Here are 5 highly recommended smartwatch products. Apple Watch SE. Because of Apple's premium-first approach, it can be tempting to gloss over its lower-priced gear because they often lack the latest generation tech. That was the case with 2020's Watch SE, which repackaged the outgoing Series 5 as a lower-priced model. But the 2022 Watch SE uses the same chip inside as the new Watch 8 and Watch Ultra. It has almost all of the Apple Watch core experience. In fact, we used a Series 7 prior to reviewing it and, although there were differences of course, we found the SE only lacked a few bells and whistles. More on those shortly. The 2022 Watch SE is lacking a few things you get from the more expensive Series 8. Firstly, it's 1mm smaller, with a 44 or 40mm case size, though Apple says the screen real estate itself is 20% larger on Watch Series 8. That's because the display has a larger bezel. It's not dustproof, but it is still waterproof to 50 meters. The display isn't always on as with Series 5 and later. The Watch SE can't measure your blood oxygen or take an ECG. There's no temperature sensor, so while it can track cycles, it can't react to temperature changes. Finally, it doesn't have the option of fast charging, but if, like us, you charge overnight, then that really isn't too much of an issue. The Watch SE is actually slightly cheaper than its predecessor. It starts at $249 or £259 for GPS and $299 or £319 for GPS and cellular, comparable with Fitbit's new Sense 2, which we'll be testing soon. Fitbit's older Sense is still available for less. The Watch 8 is $150 or £160 more for the GPS model and $200 or £190 more for GPS and cellular. That's quite a chunk more you're paying for those extras. It's worth noting that these prices can change if you specify a more expensive watch band to come with your Apple Watch. Garmin Fenix 7. It's been 2 years since Garmin upgraded its top-tier multi-sports adventure watch, but the long-awaited successor to the Fenix 6 is finally here. On the range-topping 7X Solar Edition that we tested, the GPS battery life has been boosted from 60 to 89 hours with solar harvesting performance improved by 200%. You also get new military-style multiband GPS that's designed to deliver better accuracy to your runs, rides and offbeat adventures. Plus a color touchscreen and navigable color topo maps. Like its predecessor, the new Fenix 7 is built for bossing almost any sport. It packs the most complete set of training, performance and analysis features, across the widest range of activities, on any Garmin sports watch. The new Garmin Fenix 7 sticks with the familiar rugged, outdoors-ready design but adds more firepower in 2 key areas: bigger battery life and more accurate GPS, plus a handful of new features. When it comes to price and feature set, the nearest alternatives in Garmin's range are the brand new Epics. Think Fenix 7's size and skills just with an AMOLED screen and no solar. That includes Garmin Pay contactless payments and offline music support for Spotify, Deezer, and Amazon Music. There are 3 models in the Garmin Fenix 7 range: the Fenix 7S, the Fenix 7 and the Fenix 7X. The cheapest is the standard, non-solar Fenix 7S at £599.99, rising to £859.99 for the top-featured solar Sapphire. The Fenix 7 ranges from £599.99 and £989.99, depending on which edition you opt for. That offers a bigger GPS battery life for a chunk less change than most of the Fenix 7 opt. A bigger GPS battery life for a chunk less change than most of the Fenix 7 options. You might also consider the Polar Grit X Pro, £439, That's all backed by a comprehensive suite of tools for tracking daily health and wellness, plus all the smartwatch skills that Garmin now offers on its increasingly smart watches, and a total of 22 different watches across the range. They're all in the top-tier price bracket for sports watches and represent a pretty serious investment. New highlights here include real-time stamina estimates, visual race predictor, and it now even comes with a pickleball profile, which starts at £799, and the older big battery Garmin Enduro. That's currently listed from £649.99. Beyond Garmin's lineup, the nearest rival on battery life, build, durability and features is the Coros Vertex 2 at £599. The 7S and 7 come with standard, non-solar, solar and sapphire solar editions. The 7X has only solar and sapphire options. You can also choose between stainless steel or a lighter titanium casing. The most expensive is the Phoenix 7X Sapphire Solar Edition, and that ranges from £779.99 to £1,049.99 if you go for the titanium finish, which carries a solid feature set and adventure-ready design, though it lacks the staying power of Phoenix and the Vertex. Samsung Galaxy Watch 5 Pro. The Galaxy Watch lineup has reached critical mass for its 5th generation. The Classic has gone, replaced by 2 vanilla Galaxy Watch 5 variants of different sizes, and they are joined by the all-new Galaxy Watch 5 Pro. All three share the same internal hardware, with multiple fitness sensors and one of Samsung's own Exynos CPUs running the show. They all run a Samsungified version of Google's Wear OS software, too. But the new flagship model stands out in more than a few ways. It's made of sturdier stuff, comes with bespoke fitness features, and gets a much bigger battery. The Watch 5 Pro gets a titanium chassis, which promises to be tougher than the metal used for the vanilla model. It also uses sapphire crystal glass that Samsung says is more resistant to scratches than any of its previous wearables. We had a few dings during our time with the watch, all accidental, honest, and it came off no worse for a wear. That bodes well for any active lifestyler is worried about scrapes while out on the trail. It's a fair bit thicker than the regular Watch 5 models, to make room for the bigger battery. The 45mm watch face is also surrounded by a chunky bezel. That might add a bit of protection, but it doesn't have any markings like the now-retired Watch 4 Classic, and doesn't rotate at all. We can't help think it looks less refined as a result, even if it's still svelte enough to slide smoothly out from under a shirt sleeve. The grey titanium version has a little more character than the black one, at least to these eyes. It carries a chunky price premium over the vanilla Galaxy Watch 5, and doesn't have too much in the way of additional features, but the Pro still makes a strong case for itself thanks to a more robust build and significantly better battery. The design might be a bit utilitarian, but for fitness fanatics and anyone sick of having to charge their wearable tech every night, that longevity makes all the difference. Whether you'd pay a near £200 premium for that is the tougher question. The 44mm version of the vanilla Watch 5 consistently lasts into a second day of use now, and has toughened glass of its own. For most people we reckon it's the better buy. But there's no denying the titanium Watch 5 Pro has real presence on your wrist. Apple's watches are diversifying, and arguably the standard series model has lost out. Fiercely, you've got the super expensive Garmin bashing Apple Watch Ultra. Then you've got the new 2022 version of the entry-level Watch SE. Suddenly the default Apple Watch Series 8 is plain piggy in the middle, and with Watch SE boasting much of the same hardware, it very much feels like that's the new default Apple Watch. Things are fairly consistent. You'll easily make it through the day, and if you didn't charge it overnight or forgot your charger, you may have up to 10 to 20% left the next morning though. As ever, that last 10% seems to go rather quickly. So what does the Series 8 bring to the table to make it appeal? We reviewed the 45mm midnight model. Battery life is the same as with the Series 7 at around 18 hours of use. As with last year's model, and indeed the Watch SE. It's just that by introducing the very competent Watch SE, with much of the same hardware, it's now harder to recommend the Series 8 in the same way that we could recommend the Series 7. There's no getting away from the fact that the Watch 8 doesn't offer a huge amount over and above the Watch SE. That's not to say there's anything wrong with what's on offer here. This is the best sub-pound 500 smartwatch out there. Apple Watch Series 8, Google Pixel Watch. Android fans would love to tell you how long they've been waiting for an official Google smartwatch, but there's a gap on their wrist where a wearable should be. The iPhone crowd are now on their 8th gen Apple Watch, after all. Expectations are therefore sky high that the Pixel Watch will give it a run for its money. No pressure, then, with an unashamedly premium design and fitness tracking help from newly acquired Fitbit, things are off to a great start. Undercutting Apple isn't going to hurt, either. But Google's debut effort is missing a few features we've come to expect from top-tier smartwatches, and there's a one-size-fits-all approach that won't necessarily fit all. Arriving in a single size, and with no Pro, Ultra or SE variants to confuse things, the Pixel Watch is a petite 41mm. That's the same as the smallest Apple Watch, only with a circular screen instead of a rectangular one. It looks pretty small on our wrist, but not laughably so, and is pretty sophisticated even with a basic black silicone strap. The whole thing is 5 ATM water resistant, and Gorilla Glass 5 should shrug off light scrapes and scratches, but it won't survive the same punishment as the sapphire glass found on other premium smartwatches. The dome shape might make it a challenge to fit a screen protector, too. At 1.2 inches, the circular screen isn't especially big, and the bezel that surrounds it is disappointingly chunky, but you'd be hard-pressed to notice. The Wear OS interface takes full advantage of the perfect blacks delivered by the AMOLED panel, so the two blend seamlessly together. The curved glass has something of a slimming effect, too. Google reckons you'll get 24 hours of use from the Pixel Watch, which should put it ahead of the latest Apple Watch. We found that estimate to be way too generous, at least with the always-on display enabled. A battery saver warning would flash long before bedtime, after starting the day with a full charge, going for a 30-minute run and getting a reasonable amount of notifications. We saw the battery percentage dip by around 7% an hour simply sitting at a desk, which translates to about 14 hours without turning on the battery saver mode. That's a long way off what we saw from the latest crop of Samsung Galaxy Watch,